Hello everyone, it's about time I made another Geek Talk video, and this one is so relevant. This is probably, to me anyway, one of the most important videos I've ever made because it's going to make my life a lot easier. Now, if you have sent me a YouTube message about PowerPC Max, then this is the video I'm going to link you to. Now, previously I've been linking you to a video called Geek Talk using PowerPC Max in 2011. Now, that was a good video back then. I was pleased with the points I made, pleased with the way it turned out. Wasn't too happy with the title and the overall theme of the video, because there's a big difference between buying and using. So that's why this one's called Buying PowerPC Max in 2012. But it's just going to be a newer version of that video that I did, explaining what's happening at the moment. Sorry if the video is ever so slightly wonky, my tripod is totally gone. It's just so broken in several different places. But anyway, what am I going to rant on about today? I'm going to rant on about PowerPC Max. Okay, so Mac geeks, you might want to skip forward in the video a little bit because this is going to be for all of you guys out there that message me asking about Macs. Now, I get it every day. I get people that have never used Macs before looking on eBay for a Mac and then linking me to a Mac and saying, is this good? Can I use this for A, B, C and D? Can I do music production? Can I do video editing? Can I play games? Can I this? Can I that? And more than likely, I'd say in at least 70–80% of situations, they're PowerPC based. The Macs I get linked to a PowerPC simply because they're cheaper. And a G5 or something along those lines with maybe a 2.5 gigahertz processor, still by today's standards looks decent. Maybe 4 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive, where hey, people look at that, they think great. Fantastic, speedy machine. It's a Mac, it's cheap, let's ask this guy on YouTube if it's decent. Now, yes, I always answer this question, is it a good Mac? Yes. But when asking about a computer, is it good? Is it stable? Is it reliable? They're such woolly questions. You can't answer any of them without writing paragraphs upon paragraphs of if you were doing this, if you were doing that, you know, if you turned left at the roundabout and instead of going right, whatever. There's always going to be pros and cons to what you choose. Now, what you have to understand about Apple, alert hello PC users that want to change, want to switch to the Mac for whatever reason, maybe it's creativity or multimedia, whatever, you have to be aware that as soon as you buy into Apple, you are in a vicious product cycle that will affect your bank balance and it'll affect you psychologically, because there is some competition. There definitely is. I know there's big competition with PCs, but we'll get to that in a minute. There's competition between Mac users. Who's got the best Mac? Who can do this? Who can do that? You see boot up races all over YouTube. Even me and my friends have had this in the past. So if you go out and buy the latest Mac Pro, and you know, whack, you know, 32 gigs of RAM in there, you're obviously gonna be the bee's knees. But Macs are really expensive. Now, PC guys, you are used to, let's say you're not a system builder, you are used to being able to buy maybe a £500 PC off the shelf, which has got really good specs. Maybe it's got a Core i5, 4 gigs of RAM, maybe even 8 gigs of RAM, quite a bit of hard drive storage, DVD burner, decent graphics card, nice looking case. It's a nice system. And for Windows people, it's great. If you're good at buying your PC, you'll make sure you're buying an ATX system, and then when you want to upgrade your RAM or upgrade your hard drive, bang, you can do it really cheap. There's no doubt about that. But buying a Mac is slightly different, because of the Macs that are available. This is such a hard topic to talk about. But as soon as you've bought a Mac, if you technically want a better Mac, or a Mac that is needed, the power that's needed to run the piece of software that's just come out, then you're going to have to upgrade from what you've bought previously. It's a vicious circle, and you can get trapped in it really easily. Personally, I was in a lucky space. I had a MacBook from 2007, and I started buying Power Mac G4s, and I built up the ladder until I had enough money to buy a G5. So I had two fairly decent-ish machines, a MacBook and a G5. So when I sold the both of them, I had enough money to buy the Mac Pro. And of course, the Mac Pro is fully upgradable, so that's going to see me ages into the future, hopefully. So I was in a lucky position. But if you're a PC guy and you're going to buy your Mac, chances are you're going to buy one Mac, obviously. I mean, if you can buy 2 brand new Macs, then I salute you. But you're going to be entering into the vicious circle of buying Macs, because anyone will agree with me, your Mac needs buying again for whatever reason. And you've got to remember this, Macs tend to inspire people to do more. You might think, oh yeah, a 750 gig hard drive would be enough for me. I can't upgrade it because it's a MacBook Pro. I'm not confident enough to open the MacBook Pro and whatever. You can only fit one hard drive in it, one small laptop hard drive. So I've got this MacBook Pro, and maybe you'll go for about 6 months and you've used 300, 400 gigs. And then, because you're a Photoshop guy, you might just, wander around a little bit of Final Cut. Next thing you know, you're hooked on video editing and you're using tens and tens of gigabytes every time you make a project. Until you need 2, 3, 4, 5 terabytes of space for this new interest that you have. So this is where I'm heading with this. Macs, you'll always need to upgrade them. So, how does this relate to PowerPC? Okay, so first off, let's establish what PowerPC is, right? This is for PC users that are switching, definitely, and for Mac users that might not be aware of this stuff, because some people just have a Mac and they use it fine, but they don't have a clue about the product structure, which is cool, I mean, I've got a Dell monitor behind me. I've got 2 Dell monitors behind me. I don't know the history of Dell. I have no intention, but just because you've got a product, obviously you don't know about it. Obviously you're not forced to know about it. So Mac people, PC people, whoever you are, PowerPC and Intel, 2 totally different things. Now some people know what PowerPC is, but they don't know what it was replaced with. Where did it go? What was taken out? What was put in instead? To put it in as simplest terms as I can, Macs from the year 2006, 2005 and below, let's talk OS 10 machines here then, machines that can run OS 10, you're talking Power Mac G3 and up. 2006, 2005, before then, all the machines that run OS 10, they run on an architecture called PowerPC, whether that's a G3, PowerPC G3, PowerPC G4, or PowerPC G5 processor. What are they? You don't need to know that. All you need to know is they're not Intel CPUs, okay? The processor in a PowerPC Mac is not Intel. That may sound stupid to some of you guys, but seriously, these messages, I get tons of them. Okay, why do you need to buy Intel? You can buy PowerPC if you want, but let's talk main machine. Intel, you have to buy it, because we are on a version of macOS 10 at the moment called macOS 10.7 Lion. This summer, 10.8 Mountain Lion is coming out. Now then, Lion doesn't run on PowerPC. Mountain Lion will not run on PowerPC. Before Lion, ages ago, came out back in 2009 I believe, Snow Leopard 10.6 doesn't run on PowerPC. The maximum OS you'll run on PowerPC is 10.5.8 Leopard. And that's a fantastic OS. It's a tiny bit bloated, bit sluggish on the graphics for most PowerPC machines, but other than that, it's a fantastic OS. But it's old. Why does that matter? New programs will come out and they are not written for Leopard, and they are not written for the PowerPC architecture at all. Take a very simple program that lots of us are familiar with, Google Chrome. Very simple internet browser that came out a long time after Apple made the Intel transition. A long time in technology terms anyway. Why the hell would Google develop a PowerPC? It's a waste of time for them. It's a free browser that you can download off the internet. They will gain nothing from developing it for PowerPC users, because PowerPC was dead back then and it's even more dead now in certain respects. It's not totally dead. Of Of course it isn't. That's stupid. It won't be totally dead for years because there is always going to be a person out there that will find it used for PowerPC in some way. But in Apple's eyes, and in the eyes of a consumer that needs the latest and greatest, or in the eyes of a professional that needs stability, compatibility, and a rock-solid system, PowerPC is out the window, and it has been for about 5 years. Google Chrome, back to Google Chrome, doesn't run on PowerPC. Okay, no big deal, you can use Safari. But when Apple updates Safari, why should they update it for PowerPC? I'd love them to. I'd love PowerPC support to last forever. But you have to face reality and understand that it isn't going to. Apple will drop support for PowerPC in Safari, in iTunes, in any program that they make. Of course, iLife 11. PowerPC, no, it's not doing it. You know, Lion, Snow Leopard, PowerPC, no way. And latest versions of the Adobe stuff, very important applications. CS5, PowerPC, no way. So, this is the kind of thing that you face. Now then, if you want to use old software, PowerPC is great. It's cheap. If you get a Power Mac G5, a Quad G5 with 16 gigs of RAM, it's a really powerful machine. It still is. You know, it's not powerful, but it's faster than pretty much all budget PCs out there, and faster than a lot of sort of middle-of-the-road PCs that you can buy. And, you know, a lot more stable. But it just runs older versions of programs. And that's okay for some people. But please, I'm going to beg you now to understand that you cannot buy a Mac while keeping your brain in a false reality. Now, you may think I'm passionate, I'm moving my arms all about the place, but please understand the fact that if you're a PC guy, you can install whatever on whatever, system requirements, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, it might run terribly, like a game that requires a brilliant processor, and I go and stick it on one of my 10-year-old computers, you know. But Mac stuff, when it comes to PowerPC and Intel, if it says it doesn't support PowerPC, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Because it's a totally different architecture. And it's, sad to say it, going to be a totally dead architecture. It really is. And again, this video is for all of those people that send me messages upon messages upon messages. But I'm so sorry. That deal you found for an awesome G5 or an awesome G4 Mac Mini on eBay, and you're thinking, oh, I'll send this to Tom, you know, he's gonna love it. I love those Macs, they're fantastic. I still want them to this day. But main machine stuff, no can do. Now then, I know people that use PowerPC for their main machine. I know a lot of people. But they're not buying their PowerPC stuff in 2012, are they? I think it's a very rare amount of Mac users. There's a very small amount of Mac users out there that would buy a PowerPC Mac in 2012 for their main machine because they know about it. And do you want to know what's worse, everyone? What is just an absolute kick in the teeth, and something that I could make a whole video ranting about, is the fact that Mountain Lion will not support any of the Macs that we consider to have pretty crap integrated graphics. So that includes things like the 2006, 2007 MacBook, the white iMac 2006, 2007, even the 2008 MacBook Air, I believe, will not support Mountain Lion. And this is what Apple does. If you're buying a Mac, Apple will ditch you very soon. Really soon. 4 years. Think of the MacBook Air when it came out, 2008. 4 years isn't a massive amount of time. And already, even though it runs an Intel CPU, and not an ancient Intel CPU, it's got a Core 2 Duo. Not even an early Core 2 Duo. But Apple aren't supporting it in Mountain Lion. So this summer, your MacBook Air 2008, anyone that's got one of them for a main machine is going to be going, oh my god, what am I going to do? Because you have instantly entered into a trap of, when 10.9 comes out, the OS after Mountain Lion, your Lion support will stop. And You've got to realise that. You've got to understand Leopard support is rare among third-party developers. It's out there, don't get me wrong, and old versions of programs are still available. But why do we have updates, everyone? Okay? Why do we have updates? This is the argument that I hear constantly. There's no problem with using PowerPC Macs because you can use the older versions of the software. They do the exact same thing, they're just not as new. In certain respects, yes, that's true. But why do we have updates? Bug fixes. There are PowerPC programs that I have, that I install on my PowerPC Macs that have bugs. Even things like iMovie 06, bugs. Second reason, why do we update? To keep up with the rest of the world. Now take formats, for example. That's a great example. Formats, frame rates and resolutions of things like video. Your ancient video converting software isn't going to produce as good a looking conversions as a new piece of video editing conversion software because of introductions of certain formats. Just like the fact that you say you can run Final Cut Pro, a decently new version of Final Cut Pro on PowerPC, and you can run Final Cut Express 4 on PowerPC. However, this camcorder in front of me here will not talk to a PowerPC Mac at all. AVC HD, which is a very common format that these cameras record in, across the board with loads of manufacturers on all of these kind of sort of £300 to £700 cameras, doesn't talk with PowerPC at all. There's ways of getting it to work, but there's ways around everything. If you're going to sit here in terminal and start going nuts, I mean, look, I'm ranting now. The point is, PowerPC isn't going to be used for everything forever. It's impossible. Now then, secondary machine, yes. G3 down here from 1998, going strong with all I want it to do. Great. If you have a use for these things, if you know the programs you're going to use, if you're aware of what you're doing, if you're aware of your formats, if you're aware of your versions, if you're aware of the problems, then you can use that stuff for a secondary machine. But main machine, I would not ditch my Intel machine now. And it is a year and a month that I have been using an Intel machine for my main machine. Because even though I had a MacBook, my G5 was still my main machine. And I had compatibility problems back then. It's only going to get worse, and when Mountain Lion comes out, that's curtains for main machine PowerPC. You have to face that fact. So, to all the people messaging me, what do you need to do? You need to go on eBay and you need to get yourself a MacBook Pro from 2006, 2007, 2008 with a Core 2 Duo, because most of those MacBook Pros should be supported for the next few operating systems, I hope, because they've got decent graphics, they've got Core 2 Duo processors, so they're 64-bit. Do not buy a Core Duo Mac, it won't even run Lion. And basically, if you want a Mac for a main machine now, it's a good idea to wait, because when the next wave of Macs come along, then decent Mac Minis will get cheaper and decent iMacs will get cheaper. But yeah, do not dump main machine money into a PowerPC Mac unless you really know what you're doing. Also, where was I going with this next point? Yes, that's the thing. Leopard, getting Leopard in the first place. Now, a lot of your G5s, your G4s, your PowerBooks, your iBooks, they'll all come with Tiger or Panther or whatever. A lot of them on eBay come with Tiger or Panther because the seller will have the original reinstalled discs and they'll reinstall the original operating system. Getting Leopard is a nightmare, and I get endless questions on how to do it. Do you go on eBay and spend £100 for an outdated operating system? No, you don't, but you've got to burn it, and Leopard is so big you need a dual layer DVD, you need to be able to download it, you need to be confident to download pretty much 8 gigs of stuff, and you know, it's not legal at the end of the day, so a lot of people aren't confident in doing it. And then you're running your whole Mac, you're running your main machine, you're running your life. If you're devoted to your computer, you're running your life on a crack. So, well, not a crack, but just an illegal operating system, because you don't need to crack a Mac operating. But, you know, that's by the by. Guys, what I'm saying is, you need to get Intel for your main machines, and it saddens me to say it, because 2 or 3 years ago I would have said totally the opposite. But it's come to that time now. So I hope I haven't babbled on too much. I will be replying to comments in this video. Anything with a question mark I'll reply to, and that's a promise, unless it's totally off the wall. Because there are going to be a lot of questions. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video. I can see it because there are a lot of PowerPC fanboys out there. But I will guarantee you guys, not all of you, but a lot of you that I've heard from and seen, a lot of you are living in a false reality, and it is clear, because you will defend your PowerPC Mac to the day it turns to dust, because you'll have maybe a G5, you'll have a dual 2.7 gigahertz nice quick one, or maybe a quad 2.5 gigahertz, 16 gigs of RAM, terabytes of hard drive storage, a graphics card that's bigger than my face, and it's a quick machine. But when it comes to support, a G5 is no better than a single 1.6 gigahertz G5, and it's not much better than a dual 1.25 gigahertz G4. It just doesn't make a difference in the PowerPC world anymore, because unfortunately G4 and G5 support was kind of stopped at the same time, which is slightly bizarre, but you've got to remember that all the portables were G4 when all the desktops were G5. Last note that I'd like to mention, if you are convinced and certain on buying a PowerPC Mac, which obviously I don't recommend for a main Mac, do not buy an iMac G5. For some reason I get people obsessed with buying an iMac G5, I don't know why, but they are really unreliable, lots of graphics problems, lots of screen issues, and that's why most of them are faulty on eBay. It will crap out on you, you'll get lines on the screen, it's bound to happen, they're really unreliable, probably one of the most unreliable Macs ever released. So if you like that case design and you like iMacs, for only about £80 more in most cases you can get the Intel equivalent, which yes, will probably not run Mountain Lion, but lots of them, if they have a Core 2 Duo, all of the Core 2 Duo ones will run Lion. So they're pretty current, and a lot more current and a lot more reliable than an iMac G5. And there is a big difference between an iMac G5 and a white Intel iMac. They are two different machines. Confusing, I know, because the iMacs are now aluminium, but when they changed from PowerPC to Intel, they kept the whitish case design. There are a few differences on the back with the ports and everything, but not a lot. But anyway, guys, that's my video. I'd like to hear thoughts. Like I say, I'm going to get hate, but I hope everyone's enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of a rant, and if you've made it to the end, I could be talking to no one right now, which is actually quite a funny thought. But anyway, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will make more Geek Talk videos addressing certain issues that I get a lot of, because there are recurring themes that I've noticed when it comes to people asking for advice. So, thank you very much, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.